And while Soda City is very much alive, it's a different story in West Columbia, where business owners say their stores aren't very crowded. It even has a shower inside. That way, the owner doesn't have to set up a shower outside. It's a major selling point as more people decide against putting down their roots and opt for a life on the road. I'm Spencer Buckler here in Rosewood, where right now Jim Hamilton Boulevard is nothing more than a straight stretch of well-paved road. But in this community, there's a push to get the words Black Lives Matter painted on the road right here behind me. Tonight's debate is super important for those 7 Democratic candidates that are going to be on the stage, as it's the last debate before the South Carolina primaries and Super Tuesday coming up next week. Joseph Ness and Sterling Johnson have busy workloads. On top of working together in this wood shop, they also study at USC, one economics, the other engineering. But in their free time, they've been working on a new kind of project.
Me and Joe have been friends for years now, since like freshman year of high school, and we both just wanted to own our own company.
For 6 weeks, they turned an empty van into something a little more comfortable, something people can live in. But there's been a little learning curve.
This isn't a house, so there's not square walls that you just like cut an even square, put it together. You have to shape it to the van.
It's like if the door, like you can put a door here, it'll physically fit, but when you open it, it's going to interfere with this.
The van has a lot of features you'd see in any house, including a sink, a stovetop, and a full-sized bed. It even has a shower inside. That way, the owner doesn't have to set up a shower outside. It's a major selling point as more people decide against putting down their roots and opt for a life on the road. Jimmy Lenz is an assistant professor at the Darla Moore School of Business. He says more young people have decided to ditch homeownership than past generations.
And I think a lot of millennials realize that the fact that homes are terrible investments. They're bad for savings accounts. That's it.
The Federal Reserve found in 2019 only 4% of real estate was owned by millennials. But Len says it's not just about the money. It's also about freedom.
They want that that ability to pick up and move a little bit more.
That's exactly what Ness and Johnson say their clients are looking for.
You already have everything you have right there.
So you got your house.
The two hope to join the van life themselves one day, but for now, they're working together, building a business and their bond.
So it's really become
better
friends.
Yeah.
For Carolina Insider, I'm Spencer Buckler. Things look pretty normal on a Saturday morning at Soda City. The crowds cover with masks, but the Main Street Market is packed full as people snack on food, shop for gifts, and spend a little time outside. Susan Frederick has been selling succulents at Soda City for over a year.
Have a good day, guys.
She says people haven't stayed away from the market.
The crowds are pretty much the same, except we're just wearing masks and washing our hands and sanitizing our hands.
As winter holidays get closer, many small businesses are struggling. Deloitte says that because of the coronavirus, small business sales are only expected to rise between 1 and 1.5% this year, compared to over 4% last year. Frederick says because of Soda City, she isn't too worried.
If it wasn't for Soda City, we would be struggling too. I wouldn't be able to do anything.
And while Soda City is very much alive, it's a different story in West Columbia, where business owners say their stores aren't very crowded. Just across the Gervais Street Bridge, Ed Albritton is an owner at Ed's Editions bookstore. Earlier this year, they had to put more coronavirus restrictions in place. Albritton says instead of foot traffic, the store has been relying on online traffic.
We had a little bit of a dip there right after things first shut down, and then as the online orders started to pick up, and they're still up. We're still selling quite a lot online as opposed to the in-store sales.
Those sales are helping Ed's Editions get through the holiday season, but they have no plans to close up their brick and mortar anytime soon.
We love what we do. We love our store, and we want people to come and feel comfortable and enjoy their time here.
Ed's Edition says they'll keep pushing through until things look a little more normal for them too. For Carolina Insider, I'm Spencer Buckler. I'm Spencer Buckler here in Rosewood, where right now Jim Hamilton Boulevard is nothing more than a straight stretch of well-paved road. But in this community, there's a push to get the words Black Lives Matter painted on the road right here behind me. This is what that painting could look like, but before work gets underway, organizers are trying to get approval from the Columbia City Council. Organizers of the art project have met with City Council members and Mayor Steve Benjamin, but discussing the project has still not been approved to be on the October 20th agenda. To help push the project forward, a petition was created that now has over 2,700 supporters. But organizers say they aren't trying to get caught up in the successes they've had so far.
I don't want to get, too caught up on we made this far, because it's not about just meeting important people and having Zoom calls with the mayor and the city manager. We want to actually get this done for our community.
Jared Johnson has also started an awareness campaign where they'll be asking for Rosewood Representative Will Brennan to advocate for them at the October 20th meeting. For Carolina Insider, I'm Spencer Buckler. Yeah, that's right, Brianna. If you're worried about getting a ride to the polls this year, you may be in luck. Rideshare company Lyft is now offering free rides to voters in Richland County. It's part of a partnership between Lyft and Plus One Vote. Richland County was selected as a location because the company believes the community has been impacted by voter suppression. But elections officials say that they expect more people to vote this year than ever before.
This turnout is already proven to be, with early voting, the largest turnout ever for absentee voting. So I think that trend will continue throughout Election Day.
The Comet bus system is also offering free rides to the polls in Richland and Lexington counties. Funding for the bus rides is provided by the CARES Act. Both options are currently available and will run through Election Day. Back to you in the studio, Brianna. USC is dealing with its second anti-Black Lives Matter protest in the past week. A group of people were met with opposition from students this afternoon after coming to Davis Field with signs and denouncing abortion and homosexuality. News 4's Finn Carlin has the latest on another tense day on campus. Thanks, Kendall. The Gamecocks have seen 4 players opt out this week. The team lost star defensive backs J.C. Horn and Israel Makwamu, along with R.J. Roderick and Marcus Scott. If you're not feeling too great about the Gamecocks taking it on Mizzou this weekend, well, maybe you can take some time to head to the Vista for some holiday cheer. Welcome to Carolina Insider. I'm Spencer Buckler. Our top story, COVID vaccines and the questions on many people's minds. When a coronavirus vaccine will come out, who will get one first, and when? Here in South Carolina, DHEC has released a 3-part plan to answer those questions.